If Tyler Hero just hit half of his shots, this would have been a blowout game. If he just hit half of his shots. Tyler Hero was broke this entire game. And it didn't matter if he was wide open or covered. He had some marvelous looks. Just couldn't put it down. He put some down closer to the end to keep us right there to make it interesting down the stretch. But the bottom line is the Philadelphia 76ers made enough plays in crunch time to pull this game out. When you let a team hang around like Miami did, allowed Philadelphia to hang around, they was able to get a run. You know this is a game of runs. Every team is going to get their run. When 76ers got their run, they never let go of it. Yeah, the Miami Heat came back after they made that run and went up by 5, 7, but they stayed right there. Philadelphia never wavered. They were right there for the fight. So they hung around just for Miami to make enough mistakes, missing bunnies, missing wide open threes, giving them extra opportunities on the offensive rebounds, especially that Joel Embiid and one in crunch time. That was huge. And what about Nicholas Batum? Where have this guy been? Where's Waldo? Where have this guy been the last decade? Usually have a stat line of 3 rebounds, 4 assists, 6 to 11 points. That's what he has pretty much on an average game in and game out, pretty much throughout his career. Most things he doesn't show up on a stat sheet. Everybody knows this. What did he do in this game? Came out with the 3-ball, shooting it from all over the place, got hot and dropped 6 threes. He was the X factor. You thought it'd probably be Maxey, you thought it'd be Tobias Harris, which he was broke. He was broke just like Tyler Hero. He couldn't hit a shot. The only shots that you see like that Tobias was putting up was probably at the YMCA. That's the type of shooting display he exhibited out there on that floor. Terrible. I mean, the crowd booed the team, booed him. That's how bad it was in the first half. Philadelphia 76ers crowd was booing. That's how terrible their performance was. And how so fast we forget. Because when they made their run, got back in the game, here comes the crowd again. But that's Philadelphia. They love you when you're doing good, but when you're doing bad, they're going to let you hear about it. And it was rightfully so for them because they started out, it was just flat. 76 was just flat in that first half. Both of them was almost slow walking, trying to gradually get themselves into the game. Because when it first started, I was a little worried. I'm not going to lie to you. Because I was like, okay, what's going on? The pace, I don't like the pace. We're not getting that many good looks at the basket. And then it kind of picked up a little bit. Zone against the 76ers was very effective. Got them out of whack. They didn't know where they wanted to go on offense. They took Embiid away. They limited his touches. They stayed on top of Maxey, forcing other guys to shoot shots. They weren't making them. But once again, when you let a team hang around, it was just missed opportunities for the Miami Heat to really seal this game. They never could get over that hump. You could smell a blowout, but they just couldn't get there. And the reason why they couldn't get there, because they sputtered on offense. They wasn't consistent on their shots. We're going to give out some awards. We're going to get it done. Chicago and the Hawks are playing right now. That's an elimination game. And that's who the Miami Heat's going to be playing next, the winner of this game. But yeah, it's unfortunate. Yeah, this one got away. It definitely got away. But the offensive production wasn't there for the Heat tonight. Nobody really stepped up huge and big. I mean, Tyler Hero, he put 9 for 27 from the field. I mean, you put it up enough, some are going to fall. But overall, he was just completely off. But I love the aggressiveness. Because what we always say, if you're off and you're an all-star type of player, you unload the clip. He did that. He will get rewarded for that. Because shots come and go, but he stayed aggressive, and that's all we want. It's all we want from any player in the league that's an all-star, superstar. Empty your clip. That's what you get paid for. That's what your team is counting on. Not shying back, not wanting the ball, putting your head down because you missed 3 or 4 shots in a row. Put them up. Be yourself. Unfortunately, he couldn't put them down, and it hampered the offense. Because Jimmy Butler, of course, he got banged up with his knee, but that's the usual with Jimmy Butler. He's going to get banged up. He labors a lot of minutes. He's in there putting his head in the fire, so he's going to get nicked up a lot. But he was gutsy. He made some plays. He started to run early in this game, getting those backhand steals, fast break dunks, out there playing cat and mouse game with him. That's what Jimmy does. But the moral story of this game is missed opportunities that cost the Heat this game. And just to lose it by 1 point. 76ers made the plays down the stretch. Miami Heat didn't. And they had every opportunity. I mean, Tyler Hero had so many clutch shots that if he would have just dropped them, he had some wide open looks. He had some off the dribble bounce back looks. Wouldn't fall. Wouldn't fall at all. A couple of guys pitched in, but like I said, the offensive production went well enough to seal this win from the 76ers. And they both didn't play well offensively. Both teams didn't. Like I said, it was a knockout, drag-out. Everybody expected that. Both of these teams grinded hard. And Miami's going to get you in that little muck-up kind of game, and they're going to force you to win it ugly. And I got to tell you, 76ers are up for the challenge. They mucked it up. They went knuckle for knuckle. Knuckle for knuckle. And then Joel Embiid is laboring the whole game, and what does he do? He come up with key shots to put them over the hump. Of course, that and one, and he had about 2 or 3 of those walk-up threes that was clutch. So it was like you didn't get it to him in the paint. He went dominant down there, so what did he do? He took it to the outside. And allowed him to walk up threes. But bad defense, of course. But when you got a guy that's that dominant, you'll be willing to give him a jump shot. You want to walk up and take a 3? We'll give you that. Just don't come down low. And he made him pay for it. He made him pay. So far as the Heat, nobody expecting the Heat to go all the way to the finals. We've already talked about that as well. Nobody's saying they for to hold up a trophy. But games like this, when you see it right there in your sight, you have to get those. Now you're going to put yourself in a situation, you got to play the Bulls or you got to play the Hawks. You wanted to go in there on a good note. Weren't able to do that. But I want to congratulate the 76ers. They came in with a good fight. I want to salute them for sure. They were up for the battle. They earned and fought for this one and made the plays down the stretch. I got to find out on Terry Rozier. I was shocked he didn't play this game. I didn't hear anything about him being hurt or what's the situation going on with that, but I was a little surprised not to see Terry Rozier out there. So I haven't heard anything about that. So that'll be something to look into. Why Terry Rozier didn't play in this ball game. Well, let's get to these awards. But like I said, this one here was tough. It was a heartbreaker. Knockout, drag out. And those are ones you be on your edge, man. When you're possession by possession, going down in the fourth quarter, those are ones I don't like. Of course, we want to see it as fans, but when your team is going through this stuff, man, whew, a lot of pain in the chest. A lot of pain in the chest. But let this one slip away. But like I say, if it's a such thing as a team sneaking out a win at home, it's the 76ers. They did that tonight. So we're going to start with the Miami Heat. Jimmy Butler, of course. He stands out with his 19 points, 5 steals, and those were key steals in the ball game. Very key steals, because when the game was tight, or the 76ers, they did have a lead here and there, 2 points, 3 points, when it was kind of close. Jimmy Butler's steals kind of opened it up a little bit, allowed them to gain the lead, and put a little more pressure on them offensively, and forced them to try to make shots, taking away Embiid, taking away Maxey, making somebody like Tobias Harris throw up shots, and man, he threw up some bad shots. And it was able to get the Heat out there running and holding the lead for a while. But yeah, 5 assists as well for Jimmy Butler. 7 for 8 from the free throw line, 2 for 6 from 3. He was 5 for 18 from the field. And you're going to see a lot of that, 5 for 18, 6 for this. A lot of players didn't shoot well. Told you it was a knockout, drag out. Percentages was not cute in this game. You wanted this game, you had to go out there and get it. You had to go fight for it. You had to grind for it. That's why Batum stole the show, and he is the player of the game. The X factor, out of the blue. Who would have expected that? You go in any game, you're not going to pick Nicholas Batum as the star or the guy who actually won the game for you. Yeah, he does a little things behind the scenes that don't show up on a stat sheet that's winning basketball. But roping in 6 threes, you don't count for that. You don't count for that at all. Even with a banged up knee, going out there giving it all you got. It looked bad. It didn't seem like you was going to continue to play. It didn't seem like you was going to stay in the game. It seemed like your night was going to be through. You wanted to gut it out. You wanted to get back on the floor for your team. You did that. It just, you couldn't get them over the hump. Too much. And besides, they ran some schemes as well. They put Nicholas Batum on him. You had Maxey hounding him. So they understand Jimmy Butler, Jimmy Buckets, playoff Jimmy, all the names he has at this time of year. They understand that. They want to try to take him away, just like they try to take Embiid away and Maxey. This time of season, you limit all all-stars. You limit all superstars. You take them away, make role players beat you. That's the name of this game when it comes down to win or go home. Plain and simple. So Jimmy Butler, with your performance, we're going to give you an Iron Man, of course. And we're just calling out double figures tonight. If the stats ain't looking good, you don't need to be on the spotlight. Plain and simple. Bam Adebayo. We could have used his point production tonight. He got in some early foul trouble. He never really caught a rhythm. When you got Embiid down there, got those long arms and big bodies, length, kind of deter him a little bit. He starts off aggressive, then he kind of bags out, then he'll look for an open man, which is fine because he's an all-around guy. He's not a one-trick pony. But it would have been a bonus for them if he could have got a few more points. 10 points not going to do it. If you keep him at 10 points, you're giving yourself a big chance to beat the Heat. 10 points by him, 12 rebounds, 0 for 2 from the three-point line, which he don't shoot many of those anyway, and 5 for 9 from the field, which is not nearly enough attempts. Not at all. And Tyler Hero, he was the hired gun. He had the green light, 25 points. 5 turnovers is huge by him, but he pressed a lot. They was giving him the ball. He had the green light. He was the offense. With Jimmy being banged up, you had to lean on him a little more than you wanted to. 9 assists by him, which is good. Real good. 4 for 14 from the three-point line. 9 for 27 from the field. That's what's tough. Like I say, if you'd have just hit half of that, if he'd have got like 14 for 27, the Heat will probably be winning this ball game. If he just got 14 for 27.